I remember a few years ago how you were, when the Mavs lost to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. You came in with the hoodie, the black shades. Um, I didn't expect to get that from you today. I feel like I think after game two, deep down you knew it, but you had to come in here that day on the pod, and you had to, you had to put on a strong face. You had to save face, and then I don't know, my brother. I think after game three, when I texted you, damn, they had a good run. I think that's when it was starting to really set in with you that it was over.
For me, it wasn't game two, right? Like I said, they would lose game one, double digits. I was a little thrown back by game two. For me, it was game three. Like game three, you come all the way back, Luca fouls out, and you lose that game. And I was like, okay, that's enough. We're done here. Like this. And then of course, game four. The frustrating part about the whole thing was you could have lost game four Friday night. I could have slept late Saturday and had the whole weekend to recover. But no, you take it to Monday. I got to get up at 5 a.m. for work. So yeah, I got to watch all the way. I watched till there was 9 minutes left in the fourth. So it was like 10:30. And I was like, dog, they made me stay up.
Ah, ah,
Now I can't get a good night's rest.
oh man, it's funny living on the West Coast. I started watching that game at work. Man, I started looking. I said, "Oh, this is getting ugly fast." Man, I stopped and got me a. I on the way home. I was like, "Man, let me stop at the bar, see if I can get me a quick wine." Because I ain't got nothing to watch when I get home before
like
I make a little spaghetti.
like Sam Pritchard hit that three at half, and I tweeted, I was like, yeah, that's a wrap. That's like when white men start shooting snipers like that from half court, it's just not it.
How do you feel that so many people in America place so many bets on the Mavericks to win this series, yet the
That,
Celtics, the 60-win team, won it in 5 games?
that just tells me America's in the right spot and that everyone hates Boston. The
Okay.
country is healing.
The country is healing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 145, 145 of Speak on It. We are inching our way close to 150. When you hear this voice, you already know it can only be one brother, the good brother, Los D Mix. And before I pass it over to uh, my good man, I want to play y'all something that I made the other day.
Oh yeah, turn this up.
I made this the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Danny, why I find it? Why don't you tell the people who you are and where the podcast is brought to you?
Well, the pod is brought to you by the folks over at goingfor2.com. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be a little discombobulated tonight. I'm still a little distraught about the Mavericks losing in 5 in the finals. But my name is Danny Ocean, and we're gonna get through this together. And we have been through tougher things together as a pod, and we will make it through this together, and things will be okay. I hope.
I mean, listen, they were a 60-win team. Listen, I'm telling you, the day you came in here, that pod you came in here, and you were just running down lineups and who had the guard who. It really dawned on me. Now the Celtics might get y'all the fuck out of here.
But like for me, it was like, yeah, that's all true. But I have Luca and Kyrie, and I know
True.
Kyrie could not play in
One could say
Boston.
Luka and Kyrie are the two best players in the series, but one could also say the Celtics are way better, the overall team, than the Mavericks. We'll get into it in a second.
We will, but
The
yeah,
other
drop that
day,
beat.
there's not a beat actually. So
Okay.
as you know, in my DJ sets, I have a DJ set this upcoming Saturday at this bar. I'm excited about. But I have you got to have some DJ drops. So I was working on some new ones, and randomly, all mine are WWE themed.
Yes.
So I needed one that I could always play at the beginning, so that it could be a beginning one, so I kind of know where to start a lot of songs. And I was listening to Friday Night SmackDown and the
Okay.
Bloodline. The
Yeah.
Bloodline. And I was like, I know the voice that I need. Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul. Introducing first the GOAT that slays a beast. Los Demons,
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I made that.
Tell me
Funny.
how. So is that? Have you ever used that drop on the set yet? Or are you gonna use it
Nah,
Saturday?
I'm playing 2 on Saturday.
Yeah, please let us know because that.
The goat that slays the beast. Remember? Do you remember when he said that?
Yeah, that was when he beat Brock Lesnar. That's when Brock Lesnar tore the ring up. It was at SummerSlam,
WrestleMania
WrestleMania.
38,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah. Oh, I remember.
Yes, sir. It's a good time.
No,
I got a few.
no. Play that again. That was some heat. One more time. I don't think
One
they
more
heard
time?
it. One more time.
One more time. All right, I got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul. Introducing first, the goat that slays a beast.
Los demons, baby.
That's so fire.
I do. Nah. I think I'm gonna play that for the first time on Saturday. I gotta figure out. I actually got to figure out. Truth be told, I got to figure out what's the first song I should play. What do you think the first song should be? I'll paint the scene for you. It's a Saturday night. It's like a cocktail. It's at a cocktail bar.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's going to be like a nightcap for people.
So they want something
I'm playing
smooth.
I'm thinking like staying in a lot of R&B pop vibes, maybe a little dancey vibes. I don't know if I'm gonna go too hip hop on them.
Okay. So you need something that's high energy, but still like you don't want someone to get up and dance. You just like, oh yeah, that's my shit, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Something like that. So here is what I'm trying to find what I was thinking. But you let me know what you was thinking.
You play that first, and that'll give me some direction. I have an idea, but you play, and let's see if we're on the same page.
I want to kind of throw it back because I want to start off a little. I like starting off a little old school.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Okay, is there a certain song? If we have the same song,
I don't know. I don't know if we will have the same song. This is how old school I'm thinking. Nah, I'm talking old school.
Yeah, that could work. Or
talk to me.
"Forget Me Not" by Patrice. I forget her last name. Do you know that song?
Hey, you think this is where I should start the people here?
I think it's high energy, but no one's going to get up and start dancing. Or you could do like "I Want to Be Your Lover" by Prince, or "Never Too Much" by Luther.
What if we get on some Billy Ocean?
You could. Is that the audience?
Well, I mean, I think it'll be a mixed crowd. I think.
Okay.
I want
that Billy Ocean could work though. Like that could work 100%. Because the thing about Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman brings energy. So like if that's the intro, like it's got to be something that's a little higher pace.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. What about this one? What if after the Paul Heyman, I come in with something like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
This for because the 30 and up crowd, they got to hear something before they get on home to the kids.
Yeah, some Tiana Marie. That'll work.
You think that'll work?
Square Bills will work, or "Tell Me" by Groove Theory. That could also work.
Okay. All right.
No, but Tiana Marie is always a good choice.
What about a little?
You could.
It's a little too slow?
Yeah, my fear, like that might be a little too slow with the Paul Heyman intro. Because the thing about the Paul Heyman thing, you can hear the audience and like you feel his energy.
What about if I started out for the lovers for real? Hold on. For the heartbroken lovers though. Come on. Talk to me.
Oh, that's too sad. That's too sad. Yeah, I'm there with my shorty and this nigga playing this.
Yo, a DJ starting to set with no, because think about it. I'm gonna come in. Yo, hey, I'm here to have a good time. I'm here for the lovers. I'm gonna stay in a mean R&B bag. I might get into some pop, but I'm here for a good time, people. Holla at me. I'm your DJ for the night. Let's go on this expedition together. Starting this out for the lovers.
Dog, I will walk up to the booth and be like, it's okay, dog. I hope she call you back, dog.
Speaking of which, I don't know if you listen to Don Toliver or not.
He still calling, right? West Coast rapper.
Don Toliver?
No, I don't know.
He signed to Travis Scott's label. He's from Houston, but he just dropped a new album. But he's got this song called Purple Rain with Future and Metro. Listen.
Oh God.
It's kind of wavy. I'm not gonna hold you. All right. Let me speed it up. Oh yeah.
This could work too as your first song.
First time I heard this, I was in the gym. I'm like, this is still the build up. We 41 seconds in. I'm like, oh, okay. Where y'all taking it? I'm on the bench press machine, ready to. And then now I'm hearing that and I'm like,
Hold on now.
Here we go. So now I'm racking it. I'm like, I'm like, oh, Future about to go. Here we go. But I'm like, hurry up. We a minute and 5 in.
How long's the song?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's your first song.
Wait till when the beat drop. I'm like, all right, I got a bop in the gym. Hey. I'm here with it. Hey. Ooh.
That could work. 100%. That could be your first song.
Oh, that right there?
Yeah, that could be it.
Nah, that's later in the night when some
when the old people go home, when the people like me go home, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we playing them when they pop out. When they pop out, that's gotta go up.
You know what's funny? I'd hear that song and be like, all right, it's time to go.
Really? See? I'm not trying to scare the old folks out. That's why you got to.
Why we got to be old folks?
Well, listen. That's why you got to find like the remixes, right? Of like the old and the new, so that way like the old people like I got a Gunna Alexander. Hold on.
Rodeo Drive could be a great first song.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You might like this one then. You might like this. Let me find it. Here we go. I got a Gunna Alexander O'Neal Rodeo Drive mix up here.
Yeah.
I actually love this song too. Listen to this.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the first song. That's it.
Look how you want me to start the people off with.
That's it.
That's it. Look how you want me to start the.
That's it. Now play the drop and then that. Can you do that real quick?
No.
That's it. Like that's it.
You think so?
That's it.
Man.
That's it.
Listen? Who would be more confused, the young folk or the new folk hearing that?
That's the point. That's it. That appeals to everybody.
Yeah. You think the old folks in hear that and be like, "Oh, we going back." They didn't hear Gunna talking about being on Rodeo.
But someone who like me, like I know who Gunna is. I just don't listen to a lot of it. Like if you get a chance before Saturday, can you mix that and just send me like the intro and in that?
I can listen. I'll practice tonight and I'll start off that song. That way you'll have it and you'll have the rest of the mix. How about that?
That's you know what we should do tonight? We should just keep doing this and we shouldn't talk about the Celtics at all.
No, we got to. So
No, we
listen,
don't.
why don't you continue talking about your Mavs losing in 5? What do you think was the biggest key to the victory when you look at it now in retrospect for the Celtics? Like, what were they able to do that was so effective against your Mavericks?
Oh, they were able. Like we talked about it at the very beginning. You were able to throw multiple bodies at Luca and Kyrie and not frustrate them. Well, last night I think Kyrie was frustrated, but they had to work and they hit their threes. Like their spacing, there was one play ended with Al Horford corner three, and Doris Burke was like, "Yep, that's Celtics basketball." Like it was a drive, the defense collapsed. Like Gafford comes in to help with Jalen Brown. Horford's a corner three, and Doris Burke's like, "Yep, that's Boston
Let me
basketball."
ask you something. Why did Indiana give you guys such fits, but a team like the Mavericks could not?
I said this. I think Boston plays down to their competition. So if you play down to your competition, that means you also play up to your competition.
Well, we can't say that because they Indiana had some success against Boston in the regular season and the in-season tournament as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could say in the postseason they just couldn't close it out. So there's something that Indiana is doing versus Boston that is effective.
That's true. And I have no idea I don't know what the Pacers do better than the Mavericks.
Maybe
the Pacers the Pacers do. They are one of the faster teams. The Mavericks had success when they pushed the pace in game 4. So maybe that's the difference.
And maybe it's their own ability to space. The Pacers can space the floor a little bit better than people think. They just can't play. Yeah. They just can't guard anybody.
Yeah, and Miles Turner can hit the three. So like they can play Boston basketball against Boston, and they can speed up the pace because I think that's the way you get Boston. That's how the Mavericks got them in game 4. Luka, he didn't hit a single three. Everything was in the paint because he pushed and pushed and pushed. And I think that's the way you had to beat the Celtics, and the Mavericks just couldn't do it. Like they ran out of gas last night.
Hey, give credit to them. They were the better team.
Yeah, they were. Boston was a buzzsaw. Like you said, after game 3, you texted me they had a good run. I was asleep. I saw it the next morning. I was going to text you back, but there's a 3-hour time difference. You were asleep, but I was like, yeah.
Well, I'm an early riser. Man, it's just listen, I keep going back to it. They were a 60-win team, and they were blowing a lot of teams out. Yeah. Like when I go back to that, and you start thinking about that, and then like some of the, albeit they were maybe playing teams injured or not. Hey, they were playing who they had in front of them. Yeah, and they were outside of Indiana. Nobody was really having success against this team.
Nope. When they're hitting the threes,
Indiana, and I'm literally saying, what did y'all do? Because Indiana gave them 4 games of straight hell.
I don't know what Rick Carlisle. I think I'd have to look this up, but I'd love to see the pace because I feel like the Pacers already played at a faster pace, so Boston can't get set, and the Mavericks had success pushing the pace. I would have a feeling the Pacers, the pace level is extremely high against Boston because that's the only way you can beat Boston. Because once that defense is set, like all right, like you have to work really hard for a shot.
Yeah,
it was.
What about Finals MVP? I know it could not be Luka this time. Are you okay with it being Jaylen Brown over Jason Tatum?
Yes. I don't know how anyone. I know Jason led the team in points, assists, and steals, but Jaylen Brown was the reason they won the finals. He won Eastern Conference Finals MVP for a reason. He won Finals MVP for a reason. I was a little upset. It was just going to be given to Jason Tatum because he's Jason Tatum. I'm glad the voters got it right. It was like who had Luka in hell most of the night? It was Jaylen. Like Jaylen did his thing against Luka. Jaylen hit his shots. I swear he had a dunk every game, and I was like, damn, how you let him dunk the ball like that? Like it was Jaylen.
Here's my thing with that. Jaylen Brown is 1/7 of the way there to that promise he made Taylor Rooks. sitting in that Celtics facility, but he on the way. He got one.
Let me ask you a question. What's the biggest lie you ever told to impress a girl? We've all done it. I'm not mad at Jaylen. I've lied in many a pretty woman's presence to get her attention.
Now, don't laugh at me.
Okay.
Told her I was a starting guard for the Canton Charge.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Told her I was a starting guard on the Canton Charge. But I had recently gotten hurt, so I was in the city that I was in. But I said, but when I play, I average smooth 12.
Did it
12
work?
and 10. Huh?
Did it work?
Oh yeah, most definitely it did.
Of course it did.
Most definitely it did. Now, I later found out, maybe like 6 months later, that Shorty moved to Alabama, went batshit crazy, and shaved her head.
Whoa. Won't he
It
do it?
wasn't because of me. It was because whatever the fuck she had going on. I smelled a little crazy when I met her, but sometimes you just gotta overlook that.
Hey man, won't he
Boy.
do it? Won't he hide you? Won't he keep you in the pocket?
Hold on. Oh man. Listen. It to this day I look back on it and I said, what dummy would look at me and say Canton charge?
People believe what they want to believe. I don't think I have a lie that good.
The only reason why I got Canton charged because my homie, one of my homies, he actually was a very tall player, like a very tall basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, why don't you play in like the NBA or the G League? And he was like, who the fuck I'm gonna play for? The Canton Charge? And I was like,
that's even funnier.
I was like, hold on. Is that a real team? He said, look at you. You don't even know G League. Yes. So I said, oh, you've given me some ammo now.
You said bet.
I
That's
said
funny.
bet. Let me ask you something. Did you think Porzingis is actually going to play in that game yesterday, or you think that was all smoke and mirrors?
No, I thought he was going to play. Here's the
thing. He
thing.
didn't play much, did he?
He played just enough for them to stretch that lead to a point where the Mavericks couldn't recover. For me, last night, it was if Boston didn't win last night, they were going to lose the series.
You think so?
Yeah. You had to put everything into winning last night.
Yeah, I mean, because I was talking to a coworker today, and I was like, we all know if we would have went to a game 6, we was going to get a game 7.
And we know Luka game 7. One game. We know what he can do in one game. So if they didn't win last night, the Mavericks have won. But
talk to me in this offseason. If you are the Mavericks GM, how are you retooling this roster to get better?
I'm finding a way to trade Maxi Kleber and Tim Hardaway Jr. because I think the top of the roster is fine, right? PJ's there, Gafford's there, Lively's there, Luka's there, Kyrie's there. I start feeling around the league. I start to go star hunting. Because this is year 2 of a 3-year deal. Kyrie is going to be in his mid-30s. Like, he might have 1 or 2 more years at this level. And you got to start prepping for Luka's max extension next year. He's going to sign the biggest contract in NBA history.
But wouldn't it make sense to, if what I'm hearing is that you may want to, instead of star hunting, maybe young talent hunting.
Yeah.
Go find a young up-and-coming, maybe on the rise guard that you maybe package it. Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber, a couple picks for.
So this is what I do if I'm the Mavericks. I trade Tim Hardaway Jr. regardless, and I try to take that money and sign Derrick Jones Jr. back. If Derrick Jones Jr. doesn't take that money, then I try to see if I can package Tim Hardaway, Maxi Kleber, and maybe a second or first round pick, and I call Atlanta and I say, is this enough to get DeAndre Hunter? And then DeAndre Hunter takes Derrick Jones' spot. Like, for me, like that's what you're trying to do. Someone of
why DeAndre Hunter?
That's like DeAndre Hunter. He's like your prototypical wing, right? He can defend multiple positions. He can shoot the 3. Like, that's kind of what you're looking for.
But he can't really stay healthy.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have to be DeAndre Hunter, but that's the kind of person that I'm looking for. The 3rd or 4th best player on a team that really isn't going anywhere. Like, what do the Pistons have to offer?
If you are the Mavs, do you give Brooklyn a call about Mikal Bridges or Cam Johnson?
I don't think the Mavericks have the ammo to go get those guys. So they have their 2025 first-round pick, and then they have their 2031 first-round pick. Like, you're looking for a team that doesn't mind the salary dump of Tim Hardaway Jr. because that's going to be the biggest piece. Like, who can I dump the salary on? I'll give you a second-round pick. I just don't, because didn't the Nets turn down multiple first-round picks from Mikal Bridges this year? I read.
Yeah, but listen, Joe Tsai, whatever his name is, he don't know what the hell. He don't know what he's doing. Like
if you can sucker him into doing that, then sure. But I don't know what Tim Hardaway, Maxi Kleber, and a first-round pick get you.
Do you think the Mavericks go out and try to get a Kyrie? I mean, not Kyrie. Try to get a PG?
Nah, I don't think. I don't know if you have the space for PG. What the money PG is looking for. So Kyrie didn't get a max. He got close to a max. And again, Next year, Luka signs, I think it's a 5-year, $395 million extension. Like that's right around the corner. So I don't know if you want to tie yourself to
Let me
big
ask you something.
salaries.
Do you think Luka Doncic has an attitude problem?
I think he spends a lot of time complaining to the refs when he can use that energy elsewhere. But I don't think
Okay,
it's an
but
attitude
I need you
problem.
to answer me this question. Do you think Luka Doncic has an attitude problem?
What do you mean by attitude problem? Because that's like, does he think he's too good for the team, or
No, I don't. Do you think his antics, maybe complaining, he doesn't take the team into consideration while doing it?
Oh,
Do you think
1,000%. Yes.
there's a few times where like he just hasn't played defense or he hasn't really
Yes.
gotten back because he's complaining to the refs and not looking at the bigger picture. So do you think that maybe some of that behavior in his actions, maybe like if you're the Mavericks, how do you go about maybe trying to correct that?
I don't know, because it sounds like everyone in that building has tried to talk to him about it. That doesn't stop you from giving him that contract. He's been first team All NBA since in the league. Like, he's getting that money. I just don't know who you can bring into the building that can be that can get through to him, because he acknowledges it, right? He's like, yeah, I was complaining. I spent too much time yelling and hollering at the refs. But he doesn't fix it. So on that front, yeah, there's definitely, and that's been a problem. And did it cost them the finals? I wouldn't say that, but man, like, I remember those 2 possessions back to back in Boston game 3. He's just sitting on the ground complaining, and like they get 2 dunks. Like that. Like, how much did they lose game 3 by? They came all the way back. He fouls out, but they lost by like 6 or like those 4 points came back and they mattered because you were sitting on the ground complaining. Like, that's the kind of stuff I think Luka needs to.
So if you're Jason Kidd, I mean, we know Jason Kidd is a respected voice in any NBA locker room, but if you're Jason Kidd now, who do you think to bring in?
I don't know. Like, I don't know who out there that's available that you can bring on your coaching staff that could get through to Luka, or even a veteran. Like, what old head? Because this year was Markieff Morris. Like, what old head is out there? Because the idea was it was going to be Goran Dragic. Like, that was the plan for years, but it just never worked out. Because Luka respects it. Yeah, Luka respects Goran Dragic. Like that, like they're friends. So who is out there that you think Luka would listen to? That you have a realistic shot at getting? I don't know the answer to that question. Like, who has he played with in his time in Europe? Who is he friends with in the league? Like, who could tell Luka on the bench right now, hey, dog, stop being a bitch and go play defense?
They need to go get, what's my man name? You know him. Udonis Haslem.
Hey, man, there might be a fight. But it's I don't know. I don't know how he feels about Udonis.
Or you go and get like a Stojakovic.
Maybe because he wasn't, or like a Ginobili. I don't know who you get, but I don't know. But someone has to get through to him like this.
Tony Parker.
Maybe Tony Parker's a Frenchman. You gonna listen to a Frenchman?
You wouldn't?
No.
That's not racist? Yeah, let me ask you something. Why do they say minorities can't be racist? Is that true?
I feel like racism, you can be prejudiced, but I feel like racism is a term that's rooted in power, right? Like, so if I hate someone who is not black, I don't have any power to do anything about it. I feel like that's the difference between prejudice and racism. But I'm sure someone is going to let us know. Because
that don't sound crazy to you?
What?
That definition
is racism?
That don't sound a little crazy to you?
Well, let's look it up. We have computers.
I think you're right. I'm saying I think you're right. What you're saying. I'm asking you. That don't seem a little crazy to you?
Yeah.
So basically, what they're saying is, because if it's white, it's racist, but if it's anything else, it's just prejudice.
Yeah. Who has all the power? I wasn't redlining black people. We weren't redlining ourselves.
So hold on. So
Oh, this is
Three
going
men
off the
walk,
rails.
three men walk into a room. A
Right.
white man, a black man, and an Asian man. The
Right.
black man and the Asian man say the same crazy statement.
Yep.
The white man walks in and says the same crazy statement.
Who
The
has?
two,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have the answer to this question. Go
so
ahead.
what you're saying is the black man and the Asian man is race. I mean, it's prejudice, but the white man is just racist.
The white man has Jim Crow. What is the equivalent for black people? I think that's what I'm saying. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like one group of people have a history.
What if they just did some crazy stuff to like their own kind? Where they from and their history? So they be racist in those countries, and we would be prejudiced.
I suppose. All I know is when black people or any other group of people had
sound crazy to you, pro-blackers. Y'all serious, pumping the air, super fist. This don't sound crazy.
I'll say this. When black people or any other group of people have a figure like Jim Crow hanging over our head, then we can have that conversation. Until then.
But okay, I'm talking about moving forward. Moving forward, we all kind of know we should know, have a base understanding of what we're saying. So at this point, do you have to be a certain race to be deemed? I don't know, man. I just think in the year 2024, if you said somebody's a something and you clearly know that's a racist term, I think you could be white, black, green, purple, mixed, from Queens, from the Bronx, from Miami.
Why are we in New York?
I think you could just be racist. Like
You could be.
What? Listen, I can tell you, if a white man call me an N-word and an Asian man call me N-word, I'm not calling one prejudice and one racist.
I'm just gonna punch both of them.
You know what? I'm not.
Yeah. See, here it is. Here is the definition of racism: prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
Okay, so piggybacking off of that, if we transition into the WNBA, was that Angel Reese hard foul on Caitlin Clark?
Hey, that's the funniest transition on earth.
Was that prejudice or racist?
That was basketball. That was basketball.
Because it's starting up those conversations. Angel Reese with the hardest hit on Caitlin Clark we've ever seen in women's basketball. She must be a racist. Cover it, CNN.
Did you see the foul, though? She was going for the ball. Like, Angel was going for the block and just hit Caitlin in the head.
Going for the ball, and she hit that girl right upside the noggin. Like, she was...
We got to stop these Caitlin discussions.
Listen...
She's not even the best rookie in her class, and she getting...
Angel Reese was beating that Susan B. Anthony out of Caitlin Clark. You gotta. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show us Susan B. Anthony real quick. You gotta pop out and show him real quick. I don't know.
Do you follow? Do you follow any of the teams on Instagram or on Twitter?
Oh yeah, I follow the Sparks. Shout out to Sparks. Get well, Cameron Brink.
So the one big thing, the big culture things NBA is the fashion, right? Like, what are they wearing when they walk into the arena? Same in the NBA, but it's a real emphasis. And I tell you, dog, Caitlin got some of the worst drip I've ever seen in my life. Like, you can tell, like, she likes Prada. Everything she wears is Prada. Like, either she got a Prada sponsorship or she got that check from Nike. Like, we're going to the Prada store. She had on like this jean jumpsuit the other night from Prada, and I was like, girl, Angel should hit you again.
Listen,
disgusting drip.
Listen, I want to remind the folks that she is a young woman.
Yep,
a young 22-year-old woman from Iowa.
She'll be a star. But that's the thing, right? I think that's the thing we keep. She is from the Midwest, and she does Midwest things.
Like, respect to all my Midwest homies, because y'all was my homies. But
she went to Iowa.
But listen, Listen, don't make me pull out a map because I'll pull out a map and I just got to give a few of y'all grace if we just draw this. If I pull out the American map and just draw a big old circle over a portion of the country, I just give y'all grace with the fits because I mean, listen.
Which is funny because Kate Martin played with her Iowa and she in Vegas, but you know what? She around some real ones.
Oh yeah, nah, AJ had to pull us this side. Listen, girl.
Hey, girl.
Listen, it is 2024. They don't even make USPA anymore.
Take that. They came in the locker room and she said, "Take that shit off. You wearing sweats."
No, you got Asia. I'm just imagining Asia with a hand around Kate Martin talking about some look. You know the Guess jeans went out like years ago, right? We don't even do the bedazzled on the ass no more, shorty.
Does that say Jinko? And luckily they're in Vegas, right? So you can take someone to like a boutique and be like, "Hey, let's get
like,
you straight."
They're like, just because Ed Hardy got a store in Caesar's Palace does not mean you got to still rock the Ed Hardy jeans. What is you doing? Girl, let me take you over here to Bottega.
Like, where's Caitlin shopping at in Indiana?
Oh, well,
where you go get fresh out of Indiana?
Oh, you know they got the little outlet mall right next to the Marshalls and the TJ Maxx.
Oh, okay. Is that where she found it? Them Prada jeans? Yeah, dog. Like,
listen.
Oh God! So have you been watching any of the games? Did you get a chance to watch any of the games this weekend?
Like, I've been watching the games when they came out. I watched a little bit of that game that you were talking about, the Sky and the Fever.
Yeah.
First back-to-back wins the Fever have had all season. I think.
Yeah.
They're what 4-8 or like.
Yeah, they're
5?
they have like
so,
4.
I mean, any games that are on and that I have time to watch, I peep in. And every game I've watched, I mean, it's been good competitive games. Obviously I've been keeping up with the Sparks. They are. It's not okay. I know the level of competition is heightened all throughout the WNBA, but the Sparks be in a lot of these games that they're losing.
Yeah, well, right now they're losing by 13, but Connecticut's like the best team in the league. Here's the thing about the Sparks. Like, this is obviously a rebuild year. You want to be like, if we're 3 weeks left and the Sparks have a chance to make the playoffs or flirting with the playoffs, that's a win. Like, that's a success.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe we can put ourselves in a position to draft not Angel.
Paige. Nah, Paige going to DC.
No, I'm not talking about Paige. What's shorty? Homegrown.
Oh, Juju.
Oh,
Juju 2 years away. You got a while for Juju. Like,
yeah,
if you
in a couple of rebuild, I'm looking at a championship in maybe 2028.
By the time Juju comes out, the Sparks should be in the playoffs
consistently.
Yeah, like that should be either year 1 of the playoffs or year 2 of being in the playoffs. Like Rakia Jackson and Cameron put together are just too strong. Like, you can't. Yeah, dog, you can't.
Well, let's pray on the health of Cameron Brink. That's
hopefully
sure.
She's okay. But
talk to me. How are you feeling about the Liberty? They,
they're the best. They have the best record in the league. Yeah. They're going to play Minnesota for the Commissioner's Cup final, I believe, next Tuesday. No, when's the draft? When's the first night of the NBA draft?
The 23rd, 24th.
Yeah, it's next week. Yeah, so whenever the first night of the draft, because they had to move the game to another arena in New York because Barclays Center is being used for the draft. So the New York Liberty, anyone who Minnesota, the 26th. So that's when the Commissioner's Cup is, or it's the 26th or the 27th. For all you, I'm not a gambling person, right? But if you have the FanDuel app and you have a couple extra dollars, I would put some money on the Fisher Collar winning MVP. Why? In Minnesota. So Minnesota's the best team in the West. I think they're undefeated against like Phoenix. They beat the Aces. I think they beat the Liberty. Like, they're legit. The Fisher Collars.
They've already beat the Liberty before.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look at Nafisa in her where she's leading in scoring. So yeah, Asia's in scoring.
Liberty have already beaten Connecticut.
Yeah, Liberty beating Connecticut. Yeah, so Nafisa Collier is 4th in the league in scoring. She's 3rd in the league in rebounds. Let's see, she does. Put your money on the like if you have a couple extra dollars. Like right now, it's Alyssa Thomas, Asia, and Nafisa in the MVP conversation. I think Asia's out because the Aces are 500. Alyssa Thomas
Well, they still got some season left.
Yeah, and Chelsea Gray is hurt. Like I'm trying to hold back my opinion on the Aces because Chelsea Gray is hurt. She could start. I think she might play tomorrow and make her season debut. Let's see what they look like after that.
Who else are the Aces missing?
It's just Chelsea. So Chelsea Gray has been hurt since the finals. Jackie Young was sick last week. Like they just haven't had a chance to play together. So you're asking people like Kate Martin to step in, and be the sixth person for that team as a rookie, which is hard. You're asking, what's the old girl's name? She's hurt too, but she really doesn't play a big part. Like you're asking Sydney Colson to come in and play real meaningful minutes, which she can, but I would like that would not be my game to game, playbook. Like, oh man, we got to play Sydney 12, 13 minutes a night. Like that's not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what they look like when Chelsea gets back. But
I'm
Nafisa Collier, if you got some extra money, I don't know what the odds are, the MVP odds are right now, but I would definitely put like $5-10 on her to win MVP. Like she's balling.
Okay, I'm excited. We'll keep up with it. Anything else WNBA related, or you want to hop into the NFL?
Oh, let's talk NFL because this league is hilarious.
Oh, one of the funniest leagues. So I think it was Monday or Sunday. A video pops up of Brandon Aiyuk on a FaceTime call with Jaden Daniels, number 2 overall pick. They're both Arizona State alums. Mm-hmm. And he tells Jaden Daniels that the Niners apparently told him, Brandon Aiyuk said, that they do not want him anymore. Danny, are you buying into this?
Everyone, if there's ever a professional way to quit your job, just do what Brandon Aiyuk is doing. I ain't never seen no one try to get fired so hard a day in my life. I'm impressed. I'm not even angry at him. Like this is just that he had his girl post about it. He had his friend or his friend or his brother post about it. He has consistently been like his subtweets like money talks bullshit walk, and now he got a video talking to Jaden Daniels in DC saying, "Yeah, they don't want me no more, bro." And it's going to work. The only problem is I think his trade value is diminishing, and maybe that works in his favor. I don't think it does.
Why would his trade value diminish?
Well, if it's known that they don't want him, right? Like think about it in the sense of basketball terms. You have a star, they're disgruntled, they want out, they want out. So other teams know he wants out. So you're not going to offer as much as you would if he didn't want out. Because he's going to leave. He's going to get his way. So you're going to take pennies on the dollar to get this headache, or it's just going to get uglier, right? Like that was the thing with Kyrie, right? Like the Nets wanted a whole bunch, and it's like, no, we know he's going. We know you don't want him, and we know he doesn't want to be there. So neither one of you have leverage. So you're going to take this deal, or you're going to leave it, right? Same kind of thing with Aiyuk. Like I think it's clear the Niners don't want him. I think they do, but they want him at a certain price. If he wants more than that price, then we're at an impasse. And it looks like he's not afraid to be a headache. So if you're the 40, you call John Lynch, say, yo, you want this headache, or do you want this 3rd round pick and going about your business?
What do you think the asking price for Brandon Aiyuk is currently?
Oh, a second round pick, definitely.
And you think so? Off of what? One really good year?
I don't see the hype for Brandon. If we can be honest, I feel like
he had his best season last year. So you can say one really good season and then a bunch of other seasons that built up to last season's good season, but last season was still his best season. So
like the numbers are kind to him. Like the advanced numbers, the regular numbers are very kind to him. But what is outside? He's a great route runner, but when have you ever seen him like just take over a game?
I mean, he's had stretches, right? I think where I think the 49ers may be coming from is where he was when he started versus where he is now, night and day. So yes, I feel him on he wants his money because he's worked his ass off. Where the 49ers are saying, okay, we've only had one good year where your play probably really took over games.
Let me ask you a question. Who would you rather have, DJ Moore or Brandon Aiyuk?
I might say Brandon Aiyuk.
Who would you rather have, Amon-Ra St. Brown or Brandon Aiyuk?
I'm going Amon-Ra St. Brown.
There's your contract between Amon-Ra and DJ Moore.
Which is fair.
But I think Brandon wants the Amon-Ra. Like, that's the floor. And that's the impasse.
Yeah, because I could see the GM being like, "Hey, buddy, we want to pay you, but
You are not better than Amon-Ra."
I would say you're talking about someone with like 100 plus receptions basically since he walked in the door.
Yeah, like we're talking about someone who's been productive from the beginning. Like, yeah, like I'm not, again, I'll never be mad at a player trying to get his money.
Oh, well then you should be mad at this motherfucker getting his money because the Jags just paid Trevor Lawrence. He's tied with Joe Burrow for the highest paid QB in the league. Danny, as a proud Trevor Lawrence hater, let me know your thoughts here.
I mean, we talked about this last week. I didn't think he would get Joe Burrow money. I thought he would get top 5. I thought he might get more like the Jalen Hurts contract, like between Jalen and Lamar. No. He got Joe Burrow money, which is, shout out to his agent. I don't think he and Justin Herbert have done nothing in my eyes to deserve this kind of love and hoopla. But shout out Youngblood getting his money, man. Get your bread.
I know Joe Burrow looking around like, yo, dog, I actually went to a Super Bowl here. What are we talking about?
I'm sure Patrick is like, oh, really?
I know, right? He's like, yo, y'all don't even know. If I really want to,
don't even understand.
I think the Chiefs are. I mean, Patrick's looking at the Chiefs like, yeah, y'all lucky. I don't want to just up the skull on y'all because I'd really set this thing on fire, but I don't want to do that. I like winning too much.
I'm set this motherfucker on fire.
And y'all'd have to pay me or what? Somebody.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So back to what we were saying. The DJ Moore. So DJ Moore signed a 3-year, $61 million contract. That is, he is an unrestricted free agent in 2 years. Amon-Ra this offseason signed 4-year, $120. So yeah, like if I'm the Niners, I say, hey Brandon, we can do 4 for 105, 110.
And what is he ideally looking for? 4 over what?
If I remember correctly, I think he said the Amon-Ra deal was the floor.
Which is 6 over 1.
4, which is 4 for 120. So that's the floor for him, if I remember correctly.
4 for 120. That's 30 a year.
That's the Amon-Ra deal.
30 a year. He wants 30 a year,
which means he wants 4 for 135. I mean 125, not 135.
I don't know, big dog.
I don't, because you just paid Debo, you paid George, you got to pay Brock,
and you just paid Christian McCaffrey too.
You just read up on Christian. Somebody got to go.
Maybe they trade Kittle.
Nah, you wouldn't trade Kittle. I feel like Kittle's more valuable. At least he can block. Like if he don't do nothing else, he can block. And as much as Kyle Shanahan loved running the ball,
at the bare minimum, we can just have him out there blocking. Damn.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan, he loves to run the ball first, and you need a good blocking tight end.
Yeah. So this is really what this is the end. Well, I think they have to choose between Debo and Aiyuk, and if they go with, if they go with, since they already paid Debo and they have a faster time of offloading that contract, they have a longer time to offload that contract. Mm-hmm. They also got Ricky Pearsall, and maybe you do get rid of the unhappy wide receiver now and then see what you can get for him.
Like if I'm Pittsburgh, what are we talking about? Like call them today. What do you want for Brandon?
The thing is with Pittsburgh, they got wide receivers over there.
You got George Pickens, you'd have Aiyuk, you got Freiermuth. Like now Justin Fields stands a chance.
Well, what about the Los Angeles Chargers? They might be looking at it like, yo, dog, we need, like, or what's the fucking issue? Like, dog, what are we talking about here?
What are we talking about? I would take that. Like, I don't think it's going to take much to get him.
The call to Jaden Daniels was because, hey, Washington Commanders.
That'd be nasty. Scary on one side and Aiyuk on the other side. Like, you could, like, you give him a chance. You see what the Bears did.
if you're the Commanders, what kind of trade package do you send to the 49ers
That's a good question. I don't
for
know.
Brandon Ayuk, knowing that in some people's eyes, the Commanders may have fleeced you for Chase Young?
That's true. Let's see. How many draft picks do they have? Because I feel like a third round pick can get it done. But if you have 2 second-round picks, maybe you say, all right, man, we'll give you our. Yeah, they got 2 second-round picks next year. They got the one from Chicago. You got 2 third, you got 2 twos, 2 threes. Yeah, you can make something work. I think you
A
can make
second
something
and a
work.
third, a second and a third for Brandon Ayuk.
That's a lot. I'm just saying you got 2 twos and 2 threes. Like you can think of something.
A second and a third for Ayuk.
That's too much. That's way too much.
Okay, so maybe just a third.
I would start. The third would be the start. Like a third, and what else do you want? Like what do you need? Like you could probably use some offensive line depth.
They might do some stuff like a third round pick and like Diami Brown.
Yeah, like you can make it work. Or if you a third in a starter or a quality backup, or a second in a Diami Brown.
I would. You think do you think the Niners would actually do something like that?
Oh, for a second, hell yeah, he on the way.
He on the way.
He outside.
Matter of fact, we never even sent his stuff home. We packed it up in a box. Just we
Yep.
waiting on the shipping label.
We wait. We print it right now.
What are your thoughts on the new in-season Hard Knocks that's going to follow the entire AFC North?
I think we're getting too deep in the weeds now, man. Like you and I talked about this years ago. Like there comes a point where the market becomes saturated, right? Like we got Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football at the end of the season, Saturday Night Football, Sunday night. Like you're taking what's special about it away because you're giving us too much. I feel like we're getting that way with Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is cool because we get to see how NFL teams cut the rosters down to 53, and we get to meet some people and follow their journey through training camp. I feel like that needs to be the cap. We don't need to follow season-long storylines because some of it feels manufactured. I don't care what the Browns are doing week 8. I don't care about none of this stuff because it's going to be Justin Fields and Russell Wilson.
That's hate. Why would you care about what the Browns are doing?
I mean, I don't care about what any team is doing over 7.
Why don't you want to hear about the dysfunction that's going to go down in Cincinnati this year when the Bengals barely make the playoffs, lose in the second round, and now they're faced with the reality that they have to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins in the same offseason, and they don't have the capital to do so. Why wouldn't you want to see some of that writing on the wall in the locker room as that happens? Why wouldn't you want to see the locker room as the Pittsburgh Steelers lose their 5th straight in a row? Russell Wilson leads the league in interceptions with 19, and Justin Fields is just waiting on his time. And every time he's played in all fourth quarters of these blowout losses, he's played well. Why wouldn't you want to see how the locker room kind of waits for Mike Tomlin to finally start him? Or maybe over in Cleveland, the nasty man is nasty playing out there, and now they're looking at it like, yo, we let Joe Flacco go for this?
Here, as someone who was a Carson Wentz believer and then became a Carson Wentz hater, one of the hardest things to watch, I don't know if it was Hard Knocks, it was Amazon. I remember that they followed the Colts that year. I think it was Hard Knocks. And then it was that last game of the season in Jacksonville. And Carson stunk up the joint. And you can just tell the sideline like hated him. That was like one of the most painful things to watch.
I remember that game. Oh,
like,
I might have texted you after that game. Like, yo, get this guy the fuck out of here.
Like, but did you watch like the Hard Knocks episode of that game?
Oh, yeah.
It was extremely painful to watch. I don't want to. Again, for me, what makes Hard Knocks special is we got 5 weeks.
Yo, I might have to go back. Yo, hold on. No.
Like, that was so painful to watch. And you can tell Frank Wright knew, yeah, this train coming to a stop. This might be it for your boy.
Why you say that?
Well, because Frank Wright is the one who was like, oh, yeah, I had Carson in Philadelphia. We went to the Super Bowl before we were, we were a great team before he got hurt. Yeah, bring him here. And how we got a second-round pick out of it. Yeah.
Hold on.
Most painful episode ever. Why you do that? What up, Jamie? Jamie said, how many times be bumping that new Eminem? Never, Gucci. That's the greatest interview ever. When Gucci looked that man in the eye and said, "Oh, you be bumping that new Eminem?" And then Jamie also said that Deshaun, you get to see Deshaun sneaking out for his midnight massages. Jamie, let me tell you,
All right.
the
Carson
bank,
Wentz, Hard Knocks, Indianapolis Colts versus Jacksonville Jaguars.
the worst thing on earth. Jamie, I assure you that the Browns are going to watch that man like a hawk this year. They're going to have an air tag. Like, they're going to make sure them cameras don't catch him doing anything shady. He can't even say hi to any of the women in the locker room. He can't say hi to the cafeteria ladies. He can't smile. Deshaun, here's a piece of paper. Write what you want to eat. Go sit at the table, and we'll bring you your food. The nasty man, he not going to beat the allegations, but he not going to hurt himself doing Hard Knocks. I promise you that. Are you watching that? I know you're not watching that game. It's painful, man. That shit was painful. Oh, you really gonna share your screen? All right, let's do this.
No matter what happens, just know this: the love and respect, that we have for each other. Don't let anything ever take that away. You're on a continual journey. We climb the mountain. We shoot to climb it every year. That never stops. There's an element of this business always going on to the long haul, but then we got it with the short-term results. And the short-term results right now sting. The thing that can only make that worse is if we don't learn from it and use it for next year. We got to know that. We got to believe that, because that's the truth. We all know it's the truth, that we can get better from this year. So we got to ask ourselves, did I take something from this year that will help us next year get back to where we want to get? I know everybody in here can say yes. We'll get there, man. Believe that. It's tough climbing, man. It's a journey that's tough, right? But we got the right stuff to do it.
Jim Irsay looked like a brother who knew he was about to fire somebody.
Jim Irsay knew what to. Look at that face. He is not high on coke in this picture. He realized that he got to fire his head coach and get rid of Carson Wentz.
It's tough climbing, man. It's a journey that's tough, right? But we got the right stuff to do it. Just might not have been our year this year.
Guys,
so we're in that.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Guys, when coaches, why is this a picture in picture? What is this? There we go. Guys, when coaches start talking about we need to respect each other, it's too late.
That's what he was talking. That's what you got from that?
That's one of the first things he said. He was like, hey guys, remember the respect that we have for each other. You know what that sound like to me? Please don't punch that redhead man in the face.
Hold on. Was that episode 9?
Yeah, that was the preview for the finale. Because I believe that's after the Jags game. If you can find the Hard Knocks footage of the sideline during that game, when Carson is sticking up the joint, and you can just tell they want to fight him. We're gonna watch this all season. You got it?
No, I'm trying to find it. Go ahead, you talking.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that. Hard Knocks should be 5 weeks in training camp. We follow a team and we learn how the NFL conducts business. You understand how heartless cuts are. You understand how hard it is to learn a playbook. You understand how hard the practices are. You get to meet the people. I always love the rookie episode because there's always an episode where the rookie's got to perform. Like, that's what Hard Knocks is. Hard Knocks, like, the story of a 17-week season is so long and grueling because it's 18 weeks. It's how many games are there? 17 games, so it's 18 weeks. Yeah, like that's long. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, that just seems really long to me. I think you had the sweet spot ending it. Now you're doing too much.
You think they're oversaturating the market? You said.
I do, because we're going to get a Hard Knocks. What's the Hard Knocks team? Is it Atlanta? Yeah, Hard Knocks Atlanta. And once that's done, You gotta
Really?
go. Yeah, Atlanta. I'm 99% sure Atlanta's up. Like it just stopped there. That's what I want to see. How do the Falcons handle Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins? But let me make sure. I'm pretty sure it's Atlanta.
Let's see. Bleacher Report. Not here. Whoops. Fence.
I'm sorry. It's the Bears this year. It's not the Falcons. My bad. It's the Bears.
I was gonna say.
So we get the Bears, and then we get the whole NFC, the AFC North for 18 weeks. I get like to me that just sounds like a lot. And if you're going to do the AFC North, then we got to talk about the nasty man's case. Like if we're going to do this, let's do this. And I don't know if we're going to get that.
What's wrong with you?
You can't dance around it. Like you're going to have to talk about the nasty man's case. You're going to have to talk about the allegations at some point. Am I wrong? I am not wrong. But I mean,
I'm hearing what you're saying now with new ears. Oh yeah, nah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, nah.
Like it's going to be interesting seeing how Nick Chubb recovers from surgery. It's going to be interesting how do the Bengals handle Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, who are both on contract.
Deshaun Watson will not touch a hard knock screen, and if they do,
he has to though. You just can't talk about Myles Garrett, dog. We can't we got to talk about 4.
You can't tell me that wouldn't be some of the
over under how many times
Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. First couple years in Houston, were pretty good. Was ready for a new change, so asked for the trade, and here we are.
Is that that's going to be episode 1?
That would be all you see from him.
Over under how many times does Lamar Jackson say the N-word?
Oh, he ain't gonna say it.
You don't think so? At practice?
Nah, he ain't gonna say it. Come on, don't put that on Lamar.
I'm saying 3 times an episode. I'll say 2.5 times an episode, and I'll take the under. I'll take the under.
Well, we won't hear it.
He'll give us 1 a week.
Speaking of things that we won't see much longer, Charles Barkley said he's retiring from TV after next year. You think that's a big deal or no deal?
Massive deal. Charles Barkley has been on TV for, I believe, next year's year 25. He has become, whether you like him or not, because I know there's some people, and he has received some fair criticism, but you can't deny Charles' cultural influence over the sport of basketball and the growth of the NBA over the past 25 years. It's a massive deal.
I mean, it's absolutely one of the greatest ever. Hold on.
You found it?
No, I got a little something for us.
Okay.
Just some of the greatest.
Oh, these Charles Barkley's greatest hits. Please say yes. Yes, turn this up.
Something else under his hand, and now this is begging to be seen again.
Chuck,
Here we go.
I mean, hey, come on, zoom in, guys. Look at those coconut donuts under there.
The honey bun belonged to the kid, and he just picked it up for him. Here we go.
Go get it, girl. Go get it. Go. You ain't gotta go get it. Let's go, girl. Let's get down to it. Let's go. Oh, come on. You already got it. Go, girl. You go. Okay, Mom, I'll see you.
I'm taking rings, but that's what I'm accustomed to.
Oh, like I.
No.
Awesome right there, Mr. President. Have you ever met Bill? I have met Bill. When? I interviewed him for my book. Oh, I met him when we won the He was really awesome.
That was just not right. The way you did that. That's just not right.
Wait.
The Golden State Warriors.
Wait, no.
No, where's the president? No, we got to go deeper into the.
Wait a minute. We about to laugh at one, but I don't know if we have like the intestinal
president
fortitude to like.
Why you find it? That president one is so funny. If you can find And if you're listening or watching, like, go find that President One and him talking to Kenny about Bill Clinton. That might be low key his most funniest rant ever.
Wait, go ahead.
So that conversation ends, right? Charles was like, Kenny, Bill Clinton could walk in the room and he would know who the hell you were. He would tell you go get him a soda. Like, Charles is like, he's like, Bill Clinton does not know who you are. And Kenny's like, yeah, he does. I met him. And Chuck's like, no. If Shaq and I walk into a room, he'd be like, oh, hey, Shaq. Hey, Charles. And if you walk into the room, he'd be like, hey, can I get a bottle of water?
Oh, hold on. I got one more for you.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Stuff, RGO, about okay, these guys trying to get in their locker room and they go through the back door and everything. So what are you hearing? What happened? Did anybody actually confront anybody with all these attempts to do that after the game?
Well, it was an emotional, chippy game, and it did spill over into the hallways. At the moment, right now, I'm in the Rockets locker room. The team is gone. They all headed to the bus. Actually, out of their team bus, there is a police presence just to make sure that nothing else develops or escalates. From the Clippers side, I just spoke to some players walking away. They continue to maintain, hey, we were in our locker room. They came to us. I spoke with members of the Rockets team who basically their response was they didn't like the attitude of the Clippers. They didn't like the feeling that maybe a player on their team was attacked. I said, which player? Was this about Chris Paul? And the teammate said, yes, this was very much a rallying around Chris Paul. They have each other's back. He said this team is very together, and they're always going to that way. And his other the way he closed it was interesting. He said, we're going to see this team 2 more times. We will remember this. So this feeling, this tension between the two teams will continue on across games.
Roscoe and Woody, thank you very much.
They're not laughing at me.
No,
They're laughing at the incident. They don't believe
Charles laughed.
I know why you're
Hey,
laughing.
I played in the NBA years, and I've been on the TV for 18 years. It's the first time I heard police presence. Wait. They got a police presence? Are you kidding me? Wait, come on, man.
Numerous social media reports that LAPD was called.
LAPD was called.
See, these two, man. I know why they're laughing at me.
Come on, man.
Because they would.
Oh, man.
No, the issue
Now,
is
y'all gotta stop it, man.
they would relish
Come on.
for a guy to come in the locker room after them.
Hey, Chuck.
So,
Hey, Chuck.
I don't know
Hello,
what this
police.
is. I don't
Oh, wait.
know why.
Hello, police.
Yeah, here comes the
Chris
best
Paul
part.
trying to beat me up. This is Blake Griffin. Chris Paul trying to get in the locker room. Get down here and save me. Wait. Hey, this DeAndre Jordan. Mike D'Antoni trying to get in the locker room.
I certainly doubt that it was Clipper players who were requesting any kind of.
Somebody had to call the police. Two guys who would relish guys coming in their locker room
Come on, man.
are laughing at the fact that
Jack,
Chris Paul.
Oh, man. Yo, could you imagine? Imagine you in an NBA locker room and some people out there trying to squabble real quick. Yo, dog, come up in here if you want to. We will beat y'all's fucking head. We don't
Not
need
anybody. Chris Paul is out here. He want to fight y'all. Yo, tell that.
Tell them to come up here. We will. Yo, that takes me back to remember that one Kevin Hart bit who was like, "I give you permission to cuss." You tell her to mind her damn business.
Speaking of the Clippers, have you watched Clip on FX? Have you started that?
I don't know if I can sit there,
brother.
and really watch it with a straight
Please
face.
do it. My wife and I have been watching it. It's supposed to be a drama, but it's low key satire. It's the funniest thing on TV right now.
How you feel about Lawrence Fishburne playing Doc Rivers?
It's hilarious. Every time I see him, like he's trying to do Doc's raspy voice and he can't.
Because only Doc has that.
It's
What the
only
hell was
Doc
Doc
has
smoking on to get that voice.
Hold on. Where's Doc Rivers from? Because I think he's from the Deep South. Where's Doc from? Yeah, he plays in Orlando. Yada, yada, yada. Because his name is Doc. Oh, he's from Chicago. Never mind. That's why he got a voice. He had to sound like a man so he didn't get beat up. That was his version of that's what a man sound like as a kid. And it stuck.
What? I'm not sure. What does that mean?
Like he tried to be older than he was. So that's how he thought a man would sound. And it stuck.
Hello, officer, LAPD. Chris Paul is in here trying to beat me up, yo, dog. Speaking of which, during the finals, did you see the Paul George, the Philly propaganda that they were doing live? I was like, yo, commissioner, how was this
tampering? Adam,
like, get him, find these niggas, yo.
Joel is up here side-eyeing Paul like he wearing a skirt. Tampering.
Yo, LA Lakers, y'all are so sad, yo. Y'all are really about to hire JJ Redick too, by the way.
Yes, they are. Yo, the funniest thing about this whole JJ Redick thing is how much hate Stephen A. Smith has for JJ. Like Stephen A. be getting on First Take and be doing everything but coming up short saying JJ.
But I thought he was cool and was always on this podcast. I mean, not the podcast, on the show.
Well, every time JJ was on the show, he would cook Stephen A.
Oh, he don't come on there much no more?
Oh, no. JJ been on there in a minute.
Really?
And you notice Monica Manette ain't been on there a lot either.
I thought I saw her on there today.
She might have. I know Andrea Carter's on there today. I know Stephen A. said something really weird to Molly. Someone tweeted when she sue ESPN, she gonna get it back because Stephen A. be saying some real reckless stuff on there. I can't imagine what he'd be saying to her off air.
But okay, here's a theory. What if you found out Stephen A.
And that rumor has been out in these streets for years. They both have denied it. I don't know, man. I wouldn't be shocked either way. For me, do you think Stephen A. is that smooth?
He from New York. He an old head.
But to go from Jalen Rose, and I think we can all agree Jalen Rose seems like a very confident man.
Are you trying to call Jalen Rose fine? We need to shift this conversation immediately. What the fuck is going on here? Whoa! What?
I hate you. I'm so glad Achilles not here.
What? Oh man, listen. When I need a good laugh, I just think about that painting that Achilles had with Jesus, Tom Ford, Tom Cruise, Snoop Dogg, and Old Yeller playing fucking poker. He got one of them old black grandma.
Oh, that's the best part of the show.
He didn't show the other side of the camera with the plastic on the seats. What about Clash at the Castle? What were your thoughts? I'm gonna get mine out the way. I'm gonna let you go. Triple H. Every day without Roman Reigns. Just gonna keep on tallying it down.
Triple H.
That was a corny way for Cody to win, by the way.
Yes. Also, how dare you take the tag team belts off Jade and Bianca? They just got started. How dare you? What was that?
They were their native. Somebody had to. A Scottish person had to win a belt in Scotland.
I know Jade and Bianca beef is coming, but it has not been that. It hasn't been long enough. Like Jade Bianca needs to be WrestleMania.
Why do you think their beef is coming?
Oh, they're two powerhouses. They're the two strongest women on the roster. They have to fight each other. The beef is coming. Well, it's too soon.
I'll be ready when that beef starts.
How'd you like Uncle Howdy's intro last night? It looked like Chad Gable had took a bullet to the skull. They had Chad Gable with a bullet hole in the side of his head.
Listen, I'm conflicted because obviously, you know, it's hard to do the Wyatt family without.
Yeah, 100%.
But hey, you know who that is? Bo Dallas.
It is Bo. You know what I can't wait for? Because there's going to be a point where there's going to be a rocking chair at the ring that's going to be Bray's seat, and it's going to start rocking by itself, and it's going to freak somebody out. That's going to be fun.
Who's it going to freak out? You?
No, it's going to freak out whoever he's wrestling because there's going to be there's got to be something tangible to attribute to Bray. And I feel like the rocking chair ringside, oh, that's Bray's seat. He's watching. That's just me. Like, I feel like you have to do something to acknowledge.
You don't think they would? You don't think it's kind of overdoing it or doing something weird when you're doing stuff like that, attributing to someone who's no longer here? Like, you don't think there's like a weird, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a way to do it that's not corny because I hear what you're saying, right? Like, at what point are we taking advantage of someone's death for entertainment? I feel like there's a fine line to that. But last night when they had all the backstage, it looked like a murder scene. It didn't look like people got beat up. Like I said, it looked like Chad Gable had a bullet hole in the side of his head.
What are your thoughts on Chad Gable and that new little? You like it?
I like it. Like I feel like whatever momentum Chad Gable had, he lost it last night when he got shot in the head. But
I think he lost it on Sunday Saturday when he still didn't win the title. Like, what are we putting?
He's done with that. He's done. That title belongs to Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Oh man. Like, what are we putting him in this position for to fight for these belts? If like, is that just to build Sammy up so then Braun could take the belt and make that belt look stronger?
Yeah, and I think Chad Gable losing in these matches makes him angrier, which means he gets angrier at Otis and those people. So he keeps losing, he keeps getting frustrated, shit rolls downhill, and at some point Otis is like, all right, that's enough.
Okay. Which is getting close to.
I feel like that has, I wouldn't say Money in the Bank, I'd say SummerSlam.
Do you think the Oilers finally excuse me, do you think the Panthers finally close out the series versus the Oilers tonight?
Yep, everything follows. They're playing right now, aren't they? What's the score?
Yes, they are. I'm trying to have a look. Looks like it is. They're about to start the second period. Looks like the Oilers, they might be tied at 1. No, it's Oilers 1, Panthers 0, I believe.
I think the Panthers win. It's just going to mirror the NBA playoffs. Maybe it's not a blowout, but let's just wrap this up, man. It's the Olympics. So? It's the Olympics.
Yes, the Oilers. Oilers are up 1-0 after the first period, and oh wow. Well, I can tell you right now, if they lose Game 5, this series is coming back to. This ain't coming back.
There'll be a Game 7. There will be a Game 7.
Yeah, it will be a Game 7. Are you doing anything for Juneteenth? Are you going to the Ken and Friends pop-out show?
No, tomorrow's Freedom Day. My wife and I might go to the museum. I'm making dinner tomorrow, but nothing too big. What about you?
What do you mean? Wait, what's the Freedom Show?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Juneteenth is Freedom Day.
Yeah, what's the Freedom Show?
I don't know. I know what Freedom Show.
Yeah, I'm asking you, what the hell is a Freedom Show?
I don't know what a Freedom Show is.
I swear you just said you going to one though.
No, I'm going to the museum. I said I'm taking my wife to the museum and I'm making dinner.
Oh, is there a Freedom Museum?
No, we got tickets to the local museum. There's a samurai exhibit that I'm very interested in seeing.
Black samurai.
No, they're Chinese samurai. I'm off tomorrow. We're off tomorrow, so that might be a cool way to spend the afternoon is going to check out the exhibit.
Well, tomorrow is a federal holiday. I think everyone should be off tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it is a federal holiday, isn't it?
Yeah,
damn, might not be a good idea. Never mind.
And tomorrow, matter of fact, if you aren't of us, the only way there are some people who should be working tomorrow. Now, who?
Oh, now is that racist?
I see dead people. The people not like us should be working tomorrow. Whoa! How is that not one? Yo, what's funniest part about that whole song is people sing that song in conjunction, knowing or maybe forgetting that this song is calling a man a pedophile.
Yes, that's why it's one of the best disses ever.
He's saying other things as well, but probably A minor.
You got people singing along talking about you a pedophile.
The other day, I went back and listened to Drake Family Matters, and I ran it back like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, yo, what the fuck fuck did you think this song was gonna do in the landscape of this whole beef?
Well, like I said, if Family Matters had time to breathe, Drake still loses, but I think it's not a TKO because Family Matters has some bars in it, but it didn't have time to breathe.
I think Family Matters, like if it was like a song, like if it was like 3 individual Drake songs, it would have been fire. But he really won't saying much, and then we later find out he never planned that information. So what the hell what were you talking about there?
Yeah.
And you couldn't really. All your shots at Kendrick weren't really like hard hitting shots. Most of your better shots are directed at other people, but you need to be directed towards one person. So like
maybe in this song you should
like he trying to do this. Hey. Now, what are we talking about here? Like what YG and CB got or you talking about their gang affiliations? First off, they don't want you saying that on record. That's the biggest rapper ever. Second off, yo, get at Kendrick. You saying he not a real whatever. Okay, well, brother, he's from LA. So whatever.
All I know is Meet the Grams is the nastiest of all these songs.
Listen, a brother couldn't get at me like that. Like we're not doing that. Nah, as soon as I heard that, I said, oh no, somebody in for a long day.
As soon as I heard Dear Adonis, whoo! Yeah, we talking to it.
I was like, nah, hold on. Nah. I said, hold on now, Kendrick. You about to really get at him like this?
Didn't say a word to Drake. Just talk to his family.
Danny, let the good people know where they can find you, my good man.
You can find me on the X app, Danny Ocean 41. Make sure to follow us at Speak on the _pod, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Send us your email, speakonitpod14@gmail.com. D, other than that great transition you're going to send me because that's going to knock, where else can the people find you for great mixes?
Listen, you can follow me on X. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on YouTube, Twitch, SoundCloud at Los Demix. That's LOSDEEMIX.
Okay. See y'all next week. Oh, here we go.
This guy lost it, man. It cannot hold it, man. Yeah, we almost lost it all the time.
Yeah, we did have the great
ball-headed
and Ernie, you went and saw the movie Air, right?
Yes, I did.
It was great.
Highly recommended. Highly recommended. The whole story of Nike and Michael.
Yeah.
Very good. You all right? It's good to be back here, isn't
yes,
it?
Yes, it is. I miss you guys.
It's just another fun night. So many of them in this regular season.
We have.
Obviously, every night that we're in the studio here, and here with Adam Lefko and Candace and Jamal Crawford. And so the guys upstairs.
I just showed that to say, hey, we're gonna be here to see the entire finale of the Inside the NBA season next year. Now that the NBA season is officially over, I can officially say next year.
Sad times.
Danny, you doing anything? This weekend before we get out of here?
Nah. Oh, it's my wife's birthday Friday, so I got a whole day planned for us on Friday. You?
Well, I'm DJing on Saturday, so there's that. I'm excited to DJ, excited to be out DJing again. And then after that, I don't know. I might see what the festivities are. Is that Big T? Oh, I thought that was Big 4-5. I thought, hey, I got to hear what he got to say. He might say something funny.
Good night, y'all. See you next week.
It's not DNA, it's USA.